much wanted to go over my ECETI Ranch experience. What happened when I was out there this time, as far as some awareness that I came to about what I think is actually transpiring out there. So trying to condense that and make it to where it's understandable will be a challenge, but why not? Because I think it's something what people are experiencing. So we'll go from there. Salutations. I wanted to go over my experience at the ECETI Ranch that happened about a week ago, an awareness I came to out there, and I want to tie this into what's currently being called the quantum holographic theory of consciousness. All right, I think it's all interrelated and it's important, and there's so many people having experiences out there. I think a lot of validity goes here. So we're going to start actually with this the picture you just saw that I actually took. This one I took of Mount Adams from the ECETI Ranch. I'm proud of that. Last time I was out there last year, I didn't have any technology to take a picture. Anyway, something important here, all right, that I want to point out is that during the first night I was there, my friend John Bertoli, he lent me his binoculars they weren't infrared, but they were like good military binoculars. And what I noticed, I was trying to observe the dimensional door, which is right here. James Gilly and everybody says that's the dimensional door. All right, and you can often see lights coming off there, a green light coming off of there. But when I start looking through this, the binoculars, I see this sparkling in this area right here that looks like a pyramid. All right, you see that right there? There's a sparkling going on, boom, 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 all over there, and it's not stopping. Okay, when I remove the binoculars, I can't see it with the naked eye. I put the binoculars back on, I can see it. I passed them to Erica Dukes that was standing next to me, John. We all observed this phenomenon several times. The continual sparkling, it looked like underneath the ice, all right? And when I started looking at this, I couldn't help but think that I was eyewitnessing some type of a processor. That's kind of the way it looked, like those 1970s computer rooms where they have the spiels, the wheels on the computers, but then they also have the lights underneath them. It looked a lot like that, all right? So that's just something I wanted to go over concerning the first thing that I noticed there with that. Number two would be we had a very good group out there for the conference, all right? And we had several people that did what they call Skywatch. That's the first time I'd actually done one. But there's a gentleman that did it the night before me named Costas and his wife Hollis, very nice people. They had a way of doing an intent of like bringing up energy from the earth, spreading the love through the group, and then projecting it upwards and trying to get a response. And they got like 36 ships were seen. It was unreal. It was really, really cool, all right? What I think we have out there is a type of a system, all right? A holographic projection system in that mountain that's probably from a type 2 civilization. And what it's doing is projecting a field of energy that is reading our soul life memories and also our minds on a way that's like almost unheard of in the way we think of it now, all right? And then it's responding to the intent of groups, all right? You have an intent of groups like that, or you have someone out there that's projecting a lot of intent, and this system produces some type of a phenomenon that is designed to awaken and spar forward your consciousness. It's not bad at all what's happening out there, nothing negative. But think about a lot of these phenomenons, all right, that are happening. A lot of them are not tangible in terms of you can see ships out there all the time. It's coming in and out of the mountain. You can see things, and even Bigfoot or Sasquatch. There's interactions like that out there, like I had, all right? But how much of that is this system interacting with the divine field through the quantum hologram and us? All right, the quantum hologram we've already described before. I've talked about that, how it's actually the wormhole, and when something goes through the wormhole, it actually creates a copy on it, and there's a device underneath that, an organic device that I think Rudy Shields and them were calling the MACO, the magnetically eternally collapsing objects that stores the information itself. So that's just something I want to put out there, all right, that we're dealing with some type of a system that produces a holographic projections of a type. And when I say that, this is a type 2 civilization machine device, and it's producing an orb technology. Orbs can be seen out there all the time, all right? Everyone's seeing orbs. There are pictures of them commonly taken out there. bunches of them, all right? Now when one of these orbs, an organic hologram, gets within the energy field of our own biofield, it can change our perception. And that is half of the contact experience that we're having through the divine field, through the way it's interacting with our brains, all right? And I say that when these orbs are, right now, I believe they're doing calculations, the quantum physicists are, that are connecting the quantum hologram to the proton. So if that's the case, you can have not just when we start going through one of these wormholes in our dream bodies and creating the quantum hologram, or civilizations that no longer exist that have done that, all right? These are beings that live within the quantum hologram to a degree and exist there. That's serious, and that's how they're interacting with us through the divine field. That's both dimensionally, distant, interstellar-wise, extragalactic. That's what's going on a lot. But out there, I'm seeing a very specific phenomenon that's happened in a location near that mountain. And I think next door, I think, is the inner city of the Sleeping Lady. We've already talked about that, all right, the holographic mountain. I had to understand why I was able to witness this holographic mountain last year and why the forces that be wanted me to see that. Now I see much more. Just please understand, that's what I'm suggesting here, is that there's a system out there, and it's not negative. Obviously, it's been there a long time, and there's caretakers of this system. You can see them coming and going, all right? But nonetheless, that's what it's doing. Everybody that's been out there, a lot of people will tell you they had some type of a phenomenon out there that changed their consciousness. It even leads me to wondering how much of what I just interacted with that shapeshifter, if you watched my last video, was actually a type of a quantum hologram as well. That could have been an orb that got within my own field of energy to where I could feel, to my own biofield, that I started perceiving that. All right, and that's not a bad thing at all, because everyone that's out there right now and goes there and leaves, come back saying this is Stargate, things like that, and that may be exact also, but nonetheless, they come with a change of consciousness, a positive one. And that's not James Gillian out there trying to make people do that or doing some cult. That's not what's going on out there at all. That's the free place to try to experiment with your consciousness in a positive way. So that's something I want to put forward, all right? I think that Mount Adams is not the only device that's doing this. I think also Mount Shasta is one doing it as well, all right? Producing these orbs that get within our biofield and start giving us altered perception, all right? A way to perceive, to expand our consciousness. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think maybe that's the type of technology we're dealing with. And I'm not just talking, I saw several people indications of this, all right? One would be, before the Skywatch I did, I introduced a pineal gland exercise. It's a good one too. But after people did that, and before that, all during the trip, I kept hearing several of the clairvoyants out there saying they were seeing this grid, a grid of energy out there, like with these symbols. I kept getting that again and again, okay? And that makes me think, is that them also seeing this field of energy being projected by the mountain that is actually scanning people's souls, people's minds, and then producing a phenomenon to suit, kind of raise the consciousness. Like I say, you haven't even thought about a Sasquatch or a feline being. All of a sudden you encounter something out there that raises your consciousness regarding that. It's produced by that system out there, and it responds more to a collective consciousness, groups of people when they're out there. So that's just food for thought, all right? I want to kind of go through that and make sure I hit everything. This has a lot to do with another thing. A lot of people that were camping out there told me infrasound. They said they were hearing infrasound, basically what they thought was Bigfoot or Sasquatch stomping around out there, all right? And that's maybe not as much as it can also be some type of infrasound, which is an underground sound coming. Is there some type of an underground production system there going on? That's not bad at all. This is something that's been there a long time. This predates James Gillian. This goes back to the Indians, the Yuccamen that lived there. They all knew about it apparently. So that's just all I wanted to say, and think about that, and maybe the other devices on this planet that are trying to help kind of raise consciousness. So we'll do a wrap up real quick, but that's going to be most of what I want to say. Thank you. What's up? real quick resolution because wrap up, because I got a little excited. I'm not sure how good I transmitted this information over. All right, so I'll probably do a part 2 later or something. But something else I want to talk about is concerning this quantum holographic theory of consciousness. All right, it's also with these orbs. Right now, if you study the orb phenomenon and research it, you'll see that a lot of people are seeing these orbs and seeing beings inside of them, either moving around or looking out. All right, so you've got conscious forms that have condensed themselves, their Merkaba, their dream body, into a sphere for interdimensional, interstellar travel. All right, in this form that is this quantum holographic projection. All right, that's going to be the same thing. These are wormholes that they're using. This really changes things, and realize that a lot of those orbs, people are seeing a reflection of this, what's being said right now. All right, it's not just talk. It's when you can put the theory with the spiritual evidence. All right, and realize that once one of those orbs comes in our field of awareness, our biofield, it can alter our perception, and it has a lot to do with how a lot of these beings and the divine field is being used to interact with our brain, our consciousness and our brain, that how we interpret in conscious experiences. So a lot of people that are getting auto-suggestion about negative encounters and how horrible everything is through the media and all that, that's the first auto-suggestion to you producing those thought forms. Then when you come into contact with this type of an energy, okay, it can produce a negative effect. It's your own thought forms that can be doing that a lot. They can produce some type of abduction or something like that. Not for everyone, but that just happens too. That is part of the scenario that goes on. So anyway, just wanted to touch on that. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe to the channel. I will be on Coast to Coast AM Friday night from 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. with Jimmy Church. I'm kind of looking forward to it. I've never done anything quite like that. So anyway, much power, much energy to all. Peace.